What's up, superheroes? Welcome back to my channel, the place where we make the impossible possible. I'm Scarlet Grace from Seraph.com. I'm a manifestation coach and I'm back with another video to help you manifest your desires faster. If you're new here and you want to learn how to manifest any desire fast with the law of attraction and Neville Goddard's teachings, then start now by hitting the subscribe button and the bell icon so that you won't miss any video that could change your life. And if you need some extra help or my personal advice for your situation, you can sign up for coaching. I also have a 21-day course on how to manifest your specific person, a scripting course, as well as other courses and products designed to help you manifest all your desires. So check all those out using the links in the description below. So, today I wanted to talk about a subconscious negative belief that I see many people have that is making manifesting more work and harder than it actually needs to be. So here's the thing, I see this with many of the comments that you leave me under the videos. I also see it with many of my coaching clients. What is this belief? This is the belief that just because you want something doesn't mean that you can have it. So, let me explain exactly how this manifests so that you can understand whether you also have this subconscious belief or not. And if you have it, then keep watching because I'll tell you exactly what to do to remove that negative belief from your mind once and for all and replace it with a positive belief that is actually going to make manifesting much faster and easier for you and more fun. So here's how this manifests. One way this manifests is when you try to explain all the reasons why you deserve to have this desire that you want manifest in your reality. So for example, I have coaching clients that want to manifest a specific person, or they want to manifest a person back, and they spend a long time explaining to me why they deserve to be with this person. They will try to tell me how they feel it in their gut that this person is the one, or that 5 different psychics told them that they're twin flames or soulmates, or how they spent so many years together and it would be a pity if this ended now because of a minor thing that developed into a whole breakup for no reason, things like that. Or I have clients that want to manifest, for example, $1 million, and they keep talking about how hardworking they are and what good people they are, that they're charitable, that they like helping other people, and if they had that money, they would use it to do good in the world and things like that. Now, all this is justifying why you deserve to have this thing that you want to manifest. But here's the thing. Deserving is a stupid term that doesn't actually mean anything when it comes to manifesting. You don't need to earn the thing that you want to manifest. You don't need to be worthy of the thing that you want to manifest. You don't need to work hard in order to manifest this thing. All that is required is for you to have a desire and follow the steps and have it manifest. You don't have to justify that you actually deserve it. You don't have to justify also that you actually need it. So another thing that happens is people tell me I'm so unhappy like this, or if it has to do with money, I've tried so hard and I'm homeless right now, or I'm close to being homeless, so I truly need this. It's not a frivolous desire. Well, it doesn't matter though, because there is no higher power examining your desires and deciding which of those desires you're worthy of having manifest in your reality and which you're not worthy of. As long as you have a desire, you can manifest it. Because here's how manifesting actually works. You're a god of your reality and you came from a bigger divine force. Some people call it God, other people call it universe or divine intelligence. It doesn't matter what you call it. There is the big thing called God, the one that created universes and stars, and then one part of that big divinity is you. Now, you have all the powers of the big divinity that created universes, but because you chose to come here and have a human experience, and you did that because you thought it would be fun, not to limit yourself, you forgot many of the things that big divine power can do, because as a human, you don't have to know how to create stars, for example. That's not something that you're going to use in your human experience. And if you had all those memories of how to create universes and stars and different species and all those things, then you wouldn't have a normal, regular human experience now, would you? You don't need that knowledge, and if you had all that knowledge, you wouldn't have a normal human experience, which is what you came here to do. So you chose to forget, just like we choose to forget our past lives and things like that, so that you can fully experience what it is to be human. That's the gist of it, basically. But you still have the full powers of your divine self. It's just that instead of having the full knowledge of exactly how to orchestrate everything in the right way in order to make something manifest, you let the bigger part of you, the God with a capital G, or the universe, or divine intelligence, or whatever you call it, you hand over the details to that bigger thing, and this takes care of all the things in the middle, all the things that need to fall into place for your desire to manifest. All you have to do, as a human, as a God having a human experience, is decide what it is you want, and imagine and feel and affirm as if you already have it. All the middle part is taken care of by God or divine intelligence or the universe or whatever you call it. You don't have to bother with it. And that divine intelligence is completely impersonal. It does not judge you. This is very important, so I'm going to repeat that once again. It does not judge you. Your desires are not subject to judgment. There is no divine committee looking at your desires and determining that you can have this thing, but you can't have that other thing. There is no divine committee examining your desires and deciding that you haven't worked hard enough for something, therefore you can't have it yet. Or that in order to have this, you have to lose weight first. Or in order to have this, you have to do this first. The reason we have this stupid idea that we have to prove that we're worth having this thing that we want to manifest is because of how we are raised when we are children. When you were a kid, most likely, you grew up in a family that did what most families do. They set rules and you had to do specific things that your parents wanted you to do in order to have the thing that you wanted. So, for example, your mom would say, if you do all your homework, then I'll take you to the park. Or, unless you finish all your homework, no computer time for you today. Or, if you don't get good grades, you're not going to summer camp this year. Things like that. So you got trained to have to work for things. And this results in us growing up thinking that we have to prove that we deserve to have what we want to manifest. But manifesting doesn't work like that. Manifesting doesn't require you to be worthy or to do your homework or to work hard or to lose weight or to be kind to other people or anything in order to give you what you want. You can just have it, just like that. You don't need to earn it. You don't need to do anything to earn it. You can just have it. And that's the gist of it. And that's where many of you get stuck because you are so used to having to struggle for things or work for things or prove that you're worthy or do things that are hard in order to get what you want that subconsciously you transfer that same mentality when it comes to manifesting. You try to apply it when it comes to manifesting and prove that you're worthy or work hard or do more or look for physical action to take to support that manifestation because if you don't take any action, if it comes easy, is it even worth it? It doesn't work like that. It's not a matter of worthiness. You're by default worthy of having anything that you can imagine. If you have a desire for something, that by definition means that you can have it, that you can manifest it. Otherwise, you wouldn't even have the desire for that thing. If you're wondering, can I manifest this thing that I have in mind? Well, if you want it, that is by itself proof that you can manifest it. And there are no things that are easier to manifest and things that are harder to manifest. That's just your perception of things. If you desire something, you can manifest it. End of story. It's the same level of difficulty or ease to manifest something that feels easy to you as it is to manifest something that feels hard to you. Because it is manifested by the divine intelligence that created the whole universe. It literally knows everything and can do absolutely everything. There is nothing that is impossible for this force to manifest. There are no things for this force that are easier to manifest and things that are harder for it to manifest because it created the whole freaking circus, the whole thing. It's its creation. So it can change anything, remove anything, manifest anything. If you want it, you can have it. If you have a desire, that is proof that you can have this thing. Another very prevalent way this subconscious sabotage manifests is when you believe deep down, or even if you say it out loud, because this is a very common thing for people to say. So many people say, nothing that's worth having comes easily. So this is completely stupid, because if you think about it, really think about it for a moment. Is breathing something that is worth it? If you didn't breathe, you'd be dead. So we all agree that breathing is a very important thing. It's a thing that is really, really worth having. Do you struggle to accomplish it? Did you have to learn how to breathe? Do you have to keep it on your mind 24/7? Do you have to earn being able to breathe? Or is this something that happens automatically? Or having a heartbeat. Again, if you didn't have a heartbeat, you'd be dead and nothing else would matter. Money wouldn't matter. Being with a person that you love wouldn't matter. Nothing would matter because you'd be dead. You wouldn't be able to enjoy it. So we all agree that having a heartbeat is a thing that really, really matters. It's a very, very important thing. But do you actually have to do anything for your heart to keep beating? No, it just beats, just like that. So, is it something that doesn't come easily? No, it comes very easily. It comes naturally. You never had to learn anything about heartbeats in order for your heart to beat. You can spend your whole life never even thinking about breathing or about your heartbeat, and you will keep breathing and your heart will keep beating. It doesn't matter if you're a person that is an overachiever and works all day long, your heart will still beat, you will still keep breathing. It doesn't matter if you're a person that doesn't want to ever have a job in their life and they just want to sit on the couch and watch stuff on Netflix, your heart will keep beating and you will keep breathing. So it doesn't look like you have to prove that you're worthy of breath or you're worthy of a heartbeat, right? It doesn't look like you have to do something in order for your body to say, okay, if you work hard enough, I will ensure that your heart will keep beating today and you will keep breathing. If you don't, well, I'll stop those things. So if you have this idea in your mind that you have to struggle, you have to try hard, you have to prove that you're worthy, you have to give something in order to get your desire, that's not right. Because the most important things in life come very easily. You don't even have to think about them. So if you have this belief that nothing that's worth having comes easily, it's time to drop that belief because this is sabotaging your manifestation. So maybe this manifestation would happen very easily. Maybe this manifestation would even happen today if you didn't believe that if it comes easily, then it's not worth having or you're not worth having it. It's not about worthiness at all. Worthiness is not a concept when it comes to manifesting. You can be a very nice person, and if you want something, you can have it. You can be an absolutely terrible person, and if you want something, you can have it. You can be a very hardworking person, and if you want something, you can have it. You can be a person that never does anything and never lifts a finger for anything, doesn't want to get a job, doesn't want to do anything productive ever, and if you want something, you can have it. The power that manifests things in your reality is completely impersonal. It does not judge you. If you want something, it is ready to give it to you. You are the one stopping yourself from having this thing right now because subconsciously you go like, no, I can't have this thing or I can't have this thing yet. I haven't worked hard enough for it yet or I haven't suffered enough to prove that I actually have a reason to have it yet. Because this is the other thing. Many people feel that unless you actually struggle and suffer, or unless something is an actual need and not just a frivolous desire, frivolous want, something that you don't need and you just want, that you can't manifest it because you have to prove that you have a reason to want that thing. You don't. You just have to want the thing. It doesn't have to be a need. It doesn't have to be important to your survival. It doesn't need to be anything. There are no criteria. You can have whatever you want. You can be a multi-millionaire who wants to become a multi-billionaire, and you can make it happen. You don't have to prove that you struggle and therefore you deserve the money. You can just have it because you want it. But what we do is we subconsciously stop ourselves from being able to have that thing that we say we desire right now because we add all those useless rules to the manifestation process. And we do it subconsciously. It's because that's how we were taught the world works. Well, human world may work like that, but manifesting doesn't follow those rules. You don't have to prove anything, you don't have to justify anything, and you don't have to earn anything. You can just have it. So it's not about any higher power not being cooperative or you not knowing how to manifest. You may be using all the techniques perfectly, but if you have all those weird, messed up ideas about worthiness and deserving and struggle and effort and good things not coming easily and things that are worth it not coming easily, then it's basically like having a garden hose and you're stepping on the garden hose and you're wondering why water isn't coming out. And you're thinking, but I deserve to have water because I paid my water bill. So why don't I have water? Well, it's not about deserving. You just have your foot on the hose. If you take your foot off the hose, then you will have water. And having your foot on the hose is all those subconscious negative beliefs, all those distorted beliefs about what you have to do to qualify to get your desire. You don't have to qualify. You already qualify by default. If you have a desire, you qualify and you're completely entitled to have that desire manifest in your reality right now. So here's how we actually remove that subconscious resistance, that subconscious belief that we have to earn something or we have to be worthy or it has to be hard in order for us to deserve it. You can use the following affirmation. The affirmation is, what I desire also desires me. So the premise is that the thing that you want to manifest really wants to come to you. I've talked about this in many videos, but basically there are infinite parallel realities, and the thing that you want isn't something that you actually have to create in your reality. The thing that you want already exists in one reality, and you want to move to that reality where that thing that you want is already real, is already true, is already yours. You want that thing, but that thing also wants you in that reality. Think about that for a moment. You're not just you wanting this thing, that thing also wants to come to you. How do you know that? Because you have the desire for that thing. You are God, you're infinite intelligence. That means that if you have a desire, this is for a reason. You wouldn't have a desire for something that you cannot have. You have this desire, that means that this thing is practically already yours, and it already exists somewhere, and all you have to do is think from the end and live from the end, think as if it's already yours, focus on feeling and thinking as if you already have it, in order to move to that reality where that thing is real. So here's what I want you to do, especially if you're the kind of person who has a lot of resistance around your desires. Forget for a couple of weeks about manifesting those specific desires and doing affirmations on manifesting those specific desires, and use this affirmation until it is planted into your subconscious mind. Use the affirmation, what I desire also desires me. And the second affirmation that you can use together with the first one is, the divine gave me this desire and the divine wants to manifest this thing for me. Now, you can substitute the word the divine with whatever you like. You can substitute it with the universe, with God, whatever works for you. The important thing is not the wording. The important thing is that you saturate your mind, you implant into your subconscious mind the belief that what you want wants you, that when you have a desire, this by definition means that you can have this thing, and that the divine intelligence, God, the universe that created the whole of this reality, wants you to have this thing and wants to give you this thing, wants to manifest this thing for you. If you decide to manifest it, if you live from the end, if you think that you already have it, this power will take care of all the events that need to happen in the middle for your desire to manifest. So I want you to take those two affirmations and spend 3 minutes every morning, every afternoon, and every night before you go to bed, repeating those two affirmations to yourself over and over. And during the day, I want you to watch your mental diet, and whenever you catch yourself thinking from one of the old beliefs that you have to prove your worth, or wondering if you're worthy, or if you catch yourself comparing yourself to someone else and wondering if this other person could more easily get what you want while you have to struggle, or anything like that, I want you to stop yourself. Don't let this negative thought continue, play out until the end. Stop in the middle of thinking of it and tell yourself, no, that's not right, because what I desire actually also desires me. It's divine intelligence or God that gave me this desire, and that means that I can have this thing. That means that God or the universe actually wants to manifest this thing for me. And then you go on with your day. The next time you encounter a thought that comes from limitation, that is about judging yourself judging your desires, wondering if you're good enough or anything like that, again, you stop yourself, you remind yourself, no, that's actually not how this world works. How this world works is, when I have a desire, that by itself is proof that I can have this thing. The same power that created the whole of the universe, and the planets, and the stars, will take care of all the particulars, because it actually wants me to have this thing. Otherwise, I wouldn't even have that desire. What I desire also wants me. You go on with your day. You keep doing that for at least a couple of weeks, and it will completely transform your manifestation power. If you do that, if you manage to successfully plant this thought that what you want also wants you into your subconscious mind, all the manifestation techniques that you know, all the affirmations that you've been trying to plant in your mind all this time, they will work so much faster and so much better for you, and you will manifest miracles in your life. Now, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, subscribe and hit the bell icon, because I put out new videos every Sunday to help you manifest an amazing life.